I'm going scorched earth. So let the bridges I burn this evening light our way forward.
And that path will be paved with your taxes. South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace is in the headlines again. For the last several months, she has been using some of her time on the House floor to accuse her ex-fiancé and other men of sex crimes. And one of those men is accusing Mace of libel rather than paying for her own legal team. The Justice Department is now stepping in and here to explain the libel suit and why the federal government is getting involved, as Queen City News Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes.
I can tell you this. I remember when we first saw this break, and I was saying, okay, Nancy Mace is on the floor, and she has these posters up, and she starts going through this discussion about what happened to her, because she was talking in general terms, and then she started speaking specifically about the allegations that she makes about the other individuals. And I was wondering, well, why is she doing this here on the floor as opposed to on social media, on some video outside, in another location? But now it all makes sense. And so what they're attempting to say is that she would be protected under something called the Westfall Act. This Westfall Act is there to protect elected officials when they are in their official capacity. Connecting the dots, if she would have done this in some other avenue, I think there's an argument to make that she's always in her official capacity. However, there's no mistake about it. The day when she made these allegations, she was sitting on the House floor. She makes the statements in her official capacity. I think that's pretty open and shut. There is a couple questions that I have, because they said, the Department of Justice says, not only are her statements made on the House floor protected by this coverage of the Westfall Act, but it also would be any social media posts, any staff actions within scope of official duties. All of those things will also be covered. And that's where I think the lines are being blurred. As technology increases, as we start to utilize it and it becomes the public forum, is her social media post the public space? Is that in the condition of her employment? And I'm not sure of the answer, and I don't know if the courts have addressed that. I think it's crystal clear the conversations, the statements that she made while open on the floor, by all means protected and covered under here.
And the Department of Justice stepping in on something like this, that is not unheard of for the Justice Department. It has happened before. There is precedent here.
Happened in the past. South Carolina's Ralph Norman has happened there. Nick Rihal out of Virginia has happened there, and Ted Kennedy. So we've had Democrats, we've had Republicans. Biden did it for a number of folks before in the past. So this isn't something new. This has occurred before, where the Department of Justice can step in under the Westfall Act and say, look, we're going to protect these individuals. But even when they don't, even when they say, you know what, we're not going to step in, the courts can also make their own determination. And they've done that before, probably most recently Elizabeth Warren, with the situation where they were with the students that were being publicly involved with the Native American situation outside of the State House. They sought defamation charges against Elizabeth Warren, and they did not step in, the DOJ. But the court ruled and said these people in those capacities are typically assumed to always be within their role of official capacity, which is where I think this will hold, and that's how I think we get the social media posts to be covered.
And it certainly does grab some headlines. It is a story that we will keep following here on Queen City News. Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes, thanks.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.